Okay, so you've probably heard the saying a million times, right? When life gives you lemons, make lemonade. But what does that really mean? Today, we're going to squeeze all the wisdom out of that famous idea and figure out how to turn those sour moments into something, well, kind of awesome. Let's dive in. You know those days I'm talking about? The ones where you wake up late or you trip on your way to class? That feeling where nothing seems to be going your way. It's just a sour, crummy feeling. We all have them. But what if I told you there's a secret recipe for turning those days completely around? And here it is. This is the big one. It's this famous line from a writer named Albert Hubbard. But it's way more than just a saying. It's like a recipe for staying positive and bouncing back when things get a little tough. So what's he actually talking about here? Yeah, I think it's safe to say he wasn't just talking about fruit. This whole thing is a metaphor, which is just a cool way of using one idea to explain another. So let's break down the ingredients in this recipe for having a better outlook. Okay, let's break this down. On one side, you've got the lemons. You know, the sour stuff life throws at you. Problems, disappointments, just plain bad days. That's the stuff that happens to you. But look at the other side. The lemonade is what you create from it. The opportunities, the lessons you learn, a brand new plan. It's all about that amazing transformation from sour to sweet, from feeling stuck to taking action. So that all sounds great in theory, but how does this actually work in real life? Let's check out a couple of examples you might actually face and see this idea in action. All right, picture this. You studied for a test, you really thought you knew the material, and then you get it back, and it's a grade you're really not happy with. So what do you do now? Your first reaction? It's just pure sourness. You feel that sting of disappointment, and you might even start thinking, "Ugh, I'm just bad at this subject." That thought, that feeling, that's the lemon life just handed you. But this is where you start making the lemonade. Instead of letting that one bad grade define you, you use it as fuel. You think, okay, how can I study differently next time? Or maybe you decide to ask the teacher for some extra help. All of a sudden, that bad grade becomes the exact reason you get an awesome one on the next test. Okay, let's try another one. You practice really, really hard for the soccer team tryouts. You gave it your all, but when the coach posts the list, your name isn't on it. Oof, now that is a seriously sour lemon. The immediate feeling is just rejection, right? You feel left out, maybe a little embarrassed, and you might even think about quitting the sport for good. That's the tough part. But let's think about the lemonade. You could use that disappointment to practice even harder and be undeniable next year. Or maybe this is an opportunity. With all that free time, you could try out for the school play or join the coding club and end up finding something you love even more. See how that works? The lemon didn't close a door, it opened a brand new one. So the real trick isn't trying to avoid lemons, because that's impossible. The real secret is knowing the recipe for lemonade. So here's a super simple 3-step guide you can use anytime life hands you something sour. First up, acknowledge the sour. It is totally okay to feel upset or disappointed. Seriously, give yourself a minute to feel it. Step 2, find your sugar. Look for the one thing, just one, that you can actually control. You can't magically change that bad grade, but you can control how you study for the next one. And finally, step 3, mix it up. Just take one small positive step. You don't have to solve the whole problem at once. Just do one thing, like asking a friend to be a study buddy. Okay, as we start to wrap this up, there's one last really huge idea to remember. You could say this is the most important ingredient in the entire recipe. Look, life is going to be full of lemons, that's a guarantee. But here's the secret. You are the one who decides what happens next. You have the power to look at that sour situation and see it not just as a problem, but as a possibility. It's all about shifting your mindset from "this happened to me" to "what can I do now?" So let's run through that one more time. Bad things, or lemons, they happen to absolutely everyone. It's just a part of life. And you can't always control them. But you can always control how you react. You are the chef, you're the one with the recipe, you are in charge of making your own lemonade. So I'm going to leave you with this question. What lemon in your life, big or small, are you going to transform this week? What's one tiny step you can take to start turning it into lemonade? Give it some thought. Thanks for hanging out with me today.